Hello guys and good morning. Today I'm going to do a very special video which is on the minds of everybody, and that is the ever increasing interest rates. Now I'm going to go out there and make this bold claim today, which I could get into, well, let's just say I could lose some credibility when I say this, but I feel that it is not going to increase anymore. But here's the thing. A lot of people always get very worried when interest rates goes up. Here's the thing, I'm normally worried when interest rates start to go down. So if you have a look at this slide, you can see that from March this year all the way to November, the interest rates have been going up for as much as 0.25% all the way up to 4%. Now that's a very big increase in the interest rates. So why is this the case? Well, yes, a lot of people will put it down to the fact that there's rising inflation. Well, normally when interest rates are rising, it's normally a monetary policy. That's right, governments come up with monetary policies to actually curb inflation. Now, this inflation had many reasons. The most compelling reason was because during the COVID period, many countries went on this rampage to go and print money so as to bolster the economy and to keep the economy alive. Well, now it's more or less something like payback time, and a lot of people think that when interest rates increase, the banks are making more money. No, actually they are not. What happens is it's a way of collecting back cash, and your monetary authorities would be the ones who would be increasing their cash reserves when they do it this way. So by doing so, they actually are able to stabilize prices. They are able to make sure that your income doesn't get eroded because of inflation. So how were they doing it? Well, basically in the past 2 years, governments were basically buying bonds as well, all right, to stimulate the economy. And of course, the printing money part. So this whole exercise of increasing your interest rates is really to tame inflation, like I said, so that your purchasing power does not get diluted because of rising costs and rising prices. Now, to correctly understand why governments would increase your interest rates, let's go to the last time around they did it. That was somewhere in about between 2015 to 2018. All right. So you see, here's the thing. How can I say so confidently that interest rates are going to come down? Well, here's the thing, man. I've been looking at the graphs for the past 30 years. I've been doing this for 30 years. That's right, 30 years. And I've always noticed the same thing. Once it goes up, within like a 6-month to a 1-year period, it just comes tumbling down, man. So let's have a look at when was the last time this happened. So this happened from March of 2015 all the way to 2018. So you can see it went up very little from 0.25 again, which is the same as March this year. It went all the way up to 2.5%. So it's not as amazing as before. But why were they doing it at this time? Is because there was, again, creeping inflation which was coming in. Creeping inflation is not that bad, so it's a very little bit of inflation. But economies around the world, they were gearing up. So now, do you really want interest rates to drop fast? Let me just show you this. Do you know when was the last time it dropped so fast? It was in 2008. Now, it dropped by so many points in a very short period of time. And the reason that happened was because that was the time of your financial bubble. Your world had a world economic crisis. That actually came about because of your subprime, again, property. Yeah? So your subprime crisis was actually caused by property prices going up so much. People were not able to cope with the increase of your interest rates. So are we seeing a similar situation today? Well, not really, because things are a little bit different now compared to the situation it was then, where you were having a lot of foreclosures on properties. So as you can see, how quickly it reduced, all right? So basically from September to April, September 2007 to 2008, from about higher than what it is today, and you see how it came tumbling down in a very short period of time. Okay, it went down from 4.75 to 2%, and then again one more round from October 2008 to December, all the way down to zero. Okay, zero. It went all the way down to zero, and this was because there was an economic crisis. So normally, whenever there is a big, deep economic crisis, there will be tumbling interest rates. Okay, again, it's a monetary policy which is done to start to kickstart your economy again and get it back onto path. So this is not something which is an amazing thing to look forward to. Every time interest rates go down, it's a moment in which I am starting to get a little bit worried, because it normally comes along with, of course, cheap COEs, loss of jobs, loss of your lifestyle, loss of purchasing power. It's never a good thing when interest rates come tumbling down. So we see again from 2004 to 2006, there was increase again in your interest rates, and these interest rates were increasing then because your property prices were kicking up. Now, so why is it that always this happens? Why is it that interest rates keep going up and your property market is always affected by it? Well, there's a simple reason behind it. Every time economy grows and there's more money, there are more people, when there are more jobs, there are rises in your purchasing power, all this extra money always gets stuck in fixed assets. And the biggest fixed asset, which also is constant, that means as in the number of properties you can have in the whole world, it's a limited number, and all these money get stuck in the most fixed assets, which is your property market. So because it gets stuck there, what happens is prices of property, prices of real estate start picking up and picking up and picking up. And when it gets out of control, the only way to prevent people from buying more and more properties would be a monetary policy to increase the cost of home ownership or property ownership. Now, of course, in recent times, there are other ways in which they do it, which is that they have taxation. So taxation is different. So how they do taxation, for example, in Singapore, they increased the cost of your buyer stamp duty by having additional buyer stamp duty, making your purchase even more difficult, and of course to prevent people from flipping properties when they go higher. And how they do that is they come up with your capital gains tax. Of course, in Singapore, it's not really called a capital gains tax. It is called your seller stamp duty, which I will cover in another topic. So the main thing is this. Over, say, a 200-year period, you can see from this graph how your interest rates have been going up and going down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And you can see that actually in the long run, the normal interest rate is always about 2% or slightly below 2%, somewhere between 1 to 2%. And every time it goes up, it comes down pretty fast. Which is why, although I gave examples over the past 15-year period, I can tell you that in the past 30 years, you will see the same cycles again and again. Every time interest rates go up, they come down pretty quickly. So this is not a time to panic. You don't really have to worry about it. What you need to do is just get prepared that every few years, these kind of things would happen. So don't overgear yourself. But if you need to purchase, now is a good time to purchase because money can come easily, not cheaply, but easily. It's a good time to purchase and just hang in there with your purchase. This will not last long. Thank you very much and see you soon. Bye-bye. Hey, thank you very much for watching. So now go on ahead, press that like button. That one, yes, right there. Ooh, you like it, don't you? Okay, now go and hit the subscribe button. That's right, you can do it. Feels real good, right? And go on and hit the notification button so that you will always know when my next video is ready. You can do it. Go ahead. Bye-bye now.